Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we built up our cargo network. We got a fulfillment center in too. It was a really fun build. But in today's episode, we are going to be building two new interchanges along our highway. We're going to be building a system interchange between our two highways with an integrated service interchange that's going to be kind of connected to the system interchange. It's going to be fun. It's a unique little custom interchange for the scenario that we placed ourselves in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is going to really set us up for future expansion in the city because the service interchange is going to service a bunch of area that we're going to be building up soon. And the system interchange is going to make sure that the traffic between the two highways flow really, really good together. Now it's going to be like a semi-directional T-bone kind of, with like a parclo as the supporting system interchange, or sorry, service interchange. So let's hop out and take a look at where we're going to be doing this. So quickly before we get going into today's episode, this is what we did last time. We built this fulfillment center, which is basically just the mail buildings with large warehouses connected to it so that it looks like an Amazon warehouse. So what's different about it from what you saw last is I've added more parking, made sure that I got the office building I wanted. Felt like this is a very good building for the theme, but also there's a lot of traffic building up in the roundabout last time, so I found a solution, and that is this road right here at the bottom of the screen. So this way traffic going to the cargo hub from our fulfillment center can bypass the roundabout and go right into the cargo area. So that is via this. They can go into this middle lane here, connect up, and then hop right into our cargo area. You can't actually turn right from this way. You can't actually turn left onto this. So this is just for traffic coming from this side or that needs to do a full loop of the cargo station. So fun little solution. It's working. It's not perfect, but it works. That is, what most cities are. Their cities aren't perfect. A lot of times we need to force some fixes in. But this is what we're going to be doing in today's episode. This is the vanilla T junction. We're going to be redoing this to a very similar style as this system interchange. System as in two highway systems connecting together. And this, the reason why I wanted to do it this way is, one, I really like Y interchanges, but we did one in our last series. So we're going to be doing a T junction in this one. This way we also keep the theme of the original build. But right about here, we're going to be building another interchange. This is going to be semi-connected to this interchange. So there's going to be direct connections off of the highway into this other interchange. It's going to all make sense once we get going. But the reason is because we're going to have a lot of settlement out over here and then over here. So we need a way to get people on to the highway, hence the service part of the interchange, via this interchange here, which then they can choose which system they want to go on afterwards. So it's going to be a lot of compact moving parts, but this is what we're going to be doing. So here is the city from a distance. This is why we need to upgrade this interchange. This is the only system interchange in the city so far. So we really need to upgrade it from its vanilla roots. And basically the plan is to pretty much from this bridge, curve it out a little bit more this way. So we give ourselves a bit more space around the baseball stadium. But we're going to be keeping the original theme involved. And we're going to be doing this system interchange, basically just upgrading what we currently have in a speed through. right, so here is the system interchange. It's looks very nice. I think it's going to work out greatly. It's basically what we had before on a larger scale, and the on-ramps or the merging ramps here, here, and here are in the proper directions, because in the vanilla one they're switched. So for example, the cars turning right were actually on the left side of the road. In the vanilla asset, this way it's a lot smoother, so that the traffic leaving the highway is on the right. Now we haven't done any TMPE on that. That's going to come at the end, so that's why we're seeing cars go a little crazy. But this is just the basic road layout that I wanted to get in first. So we can see that we have a road crossing here. It's 14th Street or something like that. Let's see, 10th Street. And then we also have the monorail that's going to cross into here as well. So we'll see how that unfolds in the coming episodes. But right now it's flowing really smooth. We're looking at this side here, for example, and we have 3 lanes going into 4, and then so we have an extra ramp on this side, which is great. But we're gonna approach this differently later on. So we have 4 lanes here going off to 2, perfect, and all the heights are good here. I think, yeah, it looks pretty good to me. It might be some minor adjustments with some angles and stuff like that. But I really like this part of the interchange in particular. I think it looks really, really cool. We have the angles and the heights pretty good in this little corner here. Actually, I think we overdid it here on the height, but that is, yeah, we got a ton of clearance, so that's really good to see. But also, I really like how this looks with the baseball diamond, for example, right there. So we'll come back at the end and we'll do some detailing, but I really wanted to discuss what is next, because this was the system interchange. How are we going to integrate a service interchange to this? Well, if we're coming off the highway here, so we're coming from the fulfillment center area all the way over here, including across the water, and we actually wanted to go that way, but we needed to get off relatively quickly. We would need to hop in the left lane here, but the left middle lane, and then once we're on this road here, we get into the right lane, and we'll be able to merge onto the highway down over here perfectly fine, to stay on the left side. But we also have an option to get off the highway here into some sort of service interchange that we're going to have in this direction. Because we'll have a road right through here, for example, it's pretty easy to get off on this side. We'll be able to just pretty much swing an off-ramp off here, or sorry, no, because this is a service interchange, we don't need to go down on this side. We can just use the service interchange to get off if we're coming from this direction. If you're coming from this direction, we can also easily tie in an off-ramp onto this road here. And then there you go. We just need some on-ramps from that road too, but pretty much we only really need an access point from this service interchange onto this road, because that'll be important for flow of traffic. I'm kind of thinking about how we have 2 lanes into 1 and 1. Thinking about maybe making this part a 3-lane road, so we still have 2 lanes going into this instead of just 1. But we'll see about that in a second, because we need to figure out where this road is going to go. So I'm thinking this road is going to be a really old road, an old road that maybe follows the rail a little bit. I just checked the topography really quickly. We have a hill right here, but otherwise it's pretty flat. I think we might try to aim for this to be some sort of underpass road, so the highway was built kind of over top of it. And I think this is going to be kind of windy, kind of like a windy road. So let's grab a 4-unit road. I think that's going to be really good for planning purposes. And we'll grab this one, and we just need to find like a good angle of approach here. So what is the purpose of this road going to be? Well, we have this lake access over here on this side, but maybe this road can continue off onto this side here, intersect with the road, and continue on. That could be cool. So we'll try maybe select right here, for example, and then let's plan that out. Let's just go in this direction a little bit, and then I'm just going to use a dirt road for the rest of the planning. And let's open the topography, just so we don't go too close to the lakeshore. Something like that makes some sense, so we can play with that later on. We don't even need to really keep it. But I think that kind of works for what we're thinking for this area. But over here, this is where it's going to really come in handy. So we actually are already sinking the road over here for the rail. So we could just make that all the same height, really, and continue this idea. Maybe we could even just kind of go like that, right across the highway like this. Alright, so I like the way this road is looking. We can easily follow the rail pretty much the whole way. Now, we did say we wanted to get a cargo station out this way, so maybe that could be right in this little pocket here, coming off of the rail in pretty much both directions. We could even have a spur connect up into here if we wanted to get that rail cargo station all the way out over on this side too. So let's connect up this, bring it out to about here. Then I think we need to Y the road and bring one section into this side and then one section over into this side. It'll help play in with some suburban development out this way too. So let's do that, and then we can talk about the service interchange. Alright, so yeah, I think this is going to be good. We have the rail running right beside the road here, but then the reason why we were doing this is because we were about to hit a hill here. And interestingly enough, I think I went a bit too far, but if we bring it to about here, we could then decide if we want to connect up around this side of the hill, which would be cool. Maybe we can even connect it up right into this road we have right here. But then if we want to connect it up to this side, we have enough room to kind of get underneath the rail again. So I think that would be a good idea to do. I don't think bridging in this case would be effective enough, so let's do that. All right, so now that we have this connection in, I think it's going to work out great. Just improving the overall connections of the city. We can now figure out a way to get this underneath here and into here. So we have a ton of space to play with. Looking at this road, I probably want this connection here. So let's just bring this down about 6 units. Why not? And then we just need to connect these dirt paths again. These are just here because we don't have any pedestrian access on that highway piece there, so that just helps out. And then we should probably think about continuing this 4-lane road, or this 3-lane road, all the way to here. We can remove any markings that we have in here and any nodes that we previously have upgraded. So there we go, just delete those. And oh, we should probably flip that around, shouldn't we? All right, so now we have this little connection here. We can now figure out a way to connect this up. So I think the easiest idea for us to do is to probably go in this direction and then underneath the highway, railway, sorry, right here. So we'll click that in. And then it's probably just to find the simplest curve back to here. So let's go from this road. We'll come out to about there. There we go. We can connect up now. We'll connect up just like that. And now it's just involving upgrading this railway piece to elevated. And why don't we make it a bridge for funness? And we just should probably make it a bit longer so that it looks okay on the edges, because sometimes you get some glitching along the edges here. And now let's figure out if this is a good enough height for this bridge. It probably is. It's probably a bit too much, to be honest. So we can probably bring it to about there. And then we just need to slope the rest of it back to the road access points. So we could do that. Is that... No. Maybe bring it up to here. 3.9. I mean, that's fine. I think that's okay. And then from here, we'll slope it all the way out to here. Whoops. Wrong buttons. There we go. From here all the way out to this one. And we should have a really smooth slope there. Yeah. That's real good. But we should probably smooth it out a little bit. So let's do this with the smoothing tool. Just to remove that sharp edge there. Awesome. Okay, so now we have that connection into here. And looking at this area as a whole now, it looks real nice. We have a great space right here. We have a ton of space right here for future expansion too. And then we have the road access to it. So now back to the highways themselves. We need to now create some sort of connection off of this highway, or off of this arterial road, onto the highway to create some sort of parclo-ish interchange. So we're pretty far away over here, right? From this road. So we can probably try and get some sort of connection from here. Maybe I actually pulled this a bit too far away. Maybe a better option was to actually bring that connection over to here. We could even have a secondary road running across here as the interchange, and then this is going to be more of like a service road or a typical arterial. I don't really mind that. That's actually pretty good, because now we can be really picky with where we want it, because it makes sense that this road would be here for historical reasons. We have this running right beside the rail right of way. So yeah, let's split it up. Let's create kind of like a road right here, maybe. Alright, so we need to now figure out a way to make this into some sort of parclo interchange where we have enough space to connect up this road here. So this road, the whole purpose of it is to access the this arterial road, right? And then from this road you can go left or right, go into the town, or you can go into this side. So let's connect up from this point pretty much into this area on a 90-degree angle. So we'll just go ground level right about here. We can probably go a bit further. All right, so now from this point here, we need an access point onto the highway going this way, right? So we have the off coming from one side. We need to have an access point coming off the highway, or going onto the highway here, but we also need an off ramp coming from this direction here. So one way we could do that is to curve in a parclo, just like that. And then we'll use that same road connection to get it all the way out into here and connect up. So let's figure that out, because now we'd have to have traffic crossing this one here. So remember when I said that we needed to make this a wider road? Perhaps that is already necessary. So let's start back from here, and we need to put this to 3 lanes here. All right, so now we have that connection in place. We have widened this road entirely, so we have a ton more flexibility for cars. Let's make sure that is sloped. And I think we have a couple nodes that are a bit close, so we can try and clean that up by going and removing this node in particular. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Is that good angle still? Yes, it is. So now we need to figure out a way to have an off-ramp here, and we can curve this around like that. So we need to make sure that there is enough space for merging traffic on to here. Now, one solution that we could do is actually have that off-ramp come from this side. We could even branch it off here with the with this. Have this like a 5-lane road, and then bring this all the way across, which is fine, I would imagine. But that's a long way to go for that. But then we wouldn't need to have this massive curve and run into that issue of the merging traffic, right? So why don't we try and do that, actually? That seems cool. But, I mean, you can also get off here. That's the thing. You can get off the highway right here, loop around, and then you're over on this side. But I feel like we definitely need one over here, too. Let's try and get it working off of here first. All right, so we have this side complete. So now if you're coming from this side of the map, you can then slide all the way over here and get off the highway here. There's 2 nodes of space, so you are pretty much going to be coming from this side here. You're going to need to watch out that you got to cross 2 lanes of traffic here. Which actually I'm thinking it might be better to flip this branch and this branch here, because this branch we already know we're going to go in this direction, and we don't. This is going to be crossing traffic, so that only makes sense that we need to flip it to this side so that we don't have this cars coming from this side crossing traffic to get off here. All right, so I think this is going to work out great now. So we have the traffic coming from this side of the map. They stay on the left-hand side here. I still need to add in all the lane connectors. Then they swing out over here between all the pillars, and then they stay on the right side of this area, and then they're able to get off the highway here onto this off-ramp in the lake area. So instead of branching off here and then continuing along, it's just a bit of a delayed process, but I think this is going to work out well. And yeah, this is going to make it seem a bit more like a system interchange over here. Sorry, a service interchange over here. Now, I debated about actually connecting it from this side, but I wanted to have the smooth transition up here to be clean and on its own, because we could have brought it off this area, and this is pretty steep. I think I need to do a bit of resloping here, so I'll talk this through while I'm doing this. So let's slope that with node controller, and then we should probably check with intersection or with network multi-tool that this is still a-okay. It wasn't. There we go. We can probably actually get to here, and actually you can probably bring it all the way to this point, because that's where the issue really begins. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So we could have brought it off brought it off as an off ramp right here, but then we're elevated, and then we just need to continue along here, and then we just need to merge with this, which could have worked, but I figured that this is going to have a ton of traffic, that it's probably not the best idea to do that. I don't see this being the busiest of interchanges right here, so having this ability right here is fine. I was actually thinking if we could have a 5-lane interchange or a 5-lane highway, that would be amazing, but I don't know if I have that. 4-lane. All right, so this should show it better, right? So we have these 4 lanes merging together, but then we have a quick off ramp right here down to this arterial. So that works great. And then if you're on this arterial road, then you can just take this intersection here, and then you can get off the highway, or sorry, get onto the highway. It's the same piece of road. And then right here as well, you get off the highway, you can go both directions because we have a 2-lane road. All right, so say you're on this road and you want to get onto the highway. How are we going to do that? Well, I think we're going to kind of do the inverse of what we did here. We're going to have a loop connecting onto it, and then we'll have an off-ramp coming from here, swinging down onto here. So pretty much we're going to do exactly what we did here, but in the inverse. All right, so that is a lot more symmetrical, I think. So I think we're going to stay with that. Now, do we need an on-ramp from this road here onto the service? Well, you see, the reason why I'm debating whether or not we need it or not is because we have, like, if a car is coming from this direction, like over here or over here, and then needs to get onto this highway, it has this one over here. So that's why I'm thinking we don't necessarily need it. but I think we'll include it just because it creates a bit more symmetry with this area, and I guess it does make sense in the long run. You know, I wouldn't want to wait in traffic just because I need to get all the way over here. Like, this could bottleneck up pretty good with some traffic and whatnot, so I'm definitely going to want to get this connection in here. Let's turn back on all of our guidelines. We'll get this connection in, and then we'll discuss what's next. All right, so now we have this connection in here, which connects all the way up into this highway system. So now we have a fully integrated parclo, and yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. Symmetrically, it does look really nice as well. And I was debating whether or not we should connect up to this one or if we should connect up to this one, but I figured it was pretty cool to kind of connect it on the ground level here. Because we can have this kind of running parallel for a little bit, and then you're swinging up into here, and then you have a short merge underneath this area, but seeing as it's just one lane backing up into it, I think this is okay. And then you pretty much are in the middle of the highway here, and then there you go, you're good. You wouldn't need to get off the highway here at all if you're coming on from that original angle, so that's why I thought that it might be better to merge kind of into what is going to be the middle of the highway. So yeah, I think this area turned out really, really nicely. Let's just do a quick summary until we get into the speed through, where we're gonna lock in some nodes and whatnot. So we with some lane, what are they called? Lane connectors. Yeah, so we have 3 going into 4, and then 1 splitting off, and then 3 and 1. That lane goes off into here. Perfect. And then we have 3 lanes plus 1 because of the connections onto this side, and then we have 4 lanes through here where it splits off to 2, and then it remerges 2 plus 2 into 4, and then down into 3. I was debating about bringing the 4 lanes all the way over into here, but that's okay. Then coming from this side, we have 4 lanes all the way from this previous interchange up into here where we have 2, 2, and then over all the way onto this side where we've just been discussing what happens. 2 and 2 back into 4, but then it goes into 5 really quickly, which we need to make sure that we have the speed limit the same, because this is not a highway piece. And I should probably make sure that we have all the merging properly done. Yeah, so we have that extra slip lane onto here, so this it looks a little iffy, but it works perfectly. Then we have that connection down into here. So a fully integrated system and service interchange, and now we are just going to hop into the detailing time lapse. All right, folks, so here it is. Here's the end result of the build. Forest brush wasn't working at the end there, so that was pretty interesting. So I just copy and pasted some trees with Move It, and I'll fix it off camera. But yeah, this looks really, really good. We have the service interchange right here, and it's really clean with the concrete in the middle like that. It looks really, really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing this fully in action once we have more stuff out this way, particularly in this zone here that'll get a ton of views. But seeing how these cars are interacting with this area, it's looking real good. Really, really enjoying it. So the last thing we need to do with this build is to just make sure that all the lane connectors are a-okay. So that means locking in where these cars go. Oh, looks like there's some trees on the road here that I don't know how that got past the build. The construction team must have been very careful building around that tree there. Holy cow. So yeah, just pretty much every single instance of where there is lanes merging, you just gotta connect these up, and something just like that works out great. So right here, for example, you can just do Control S. That's pretty clean right there. We'll come all the way out over to here where we have a few more trees on the road. My goodness. I definitely prefer Forest Brush to copy and pasting things with Move It. That's okay though. So TMPE, lane connectors, Control S. Yeah, this is going to make sure that all the traffic flows extra smooth through here. And then right here we have a sneaky one. So this one we want that car to go there, and then this lane to go here, and this one merging onto here. Then right in this instance we want to make sure that the cars stay in their lanes as well. Okay, here's the next one right here. Oops, lane connector, just like that. Perfect, that looks really, really good. And then, oops, say it again, did the same thing, just like that. And here's another one. This one's interesting because we have the 5 lanes. So this one's gonna go here, then this one's gonna go here, and then continuing down the line. But then I only want this last right lane to be the one that turns onto this road. And then right here, we just need to make sure that we lock them all in. Oh, didn't do it properly. So we can just make sure that this lane goes there, this one here. All right, so the lane connectors are all done, and we can kind of see where the city is going to evolve next. We have a lot of bridges that are coming into here, a metro or monorail line, excuse me, that's coming into here, and some really, really strong network connections. So I hope you had a wonderful day, folks. Let's get a cool view of this system interchange here. Just these two. That's all we really need. We don't want the other one on the screen. So have a wonderful day, folks. We'll talk soon. Peace out.